BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions. Do any of you remember this campaign against apartheid to try to bring apartheid down? Well, remember we tried to get universities and colleges to divest from Polaroid and HP and some of the same companies. And we succeeded in some instances. I remember going to, I can't remember the name of the bank. It was a Japanese bank, and we knew the manager because he was the brother of a colleague of Vic's at Fremont High. And we took our money out, and I talked with him, and I said, this is not against you, but what we're trying to do is get your parent company to pull out of South Africa. And they finally did. And so did Polaroid. And so did other companies. But I remember being in George. Did you stop at George? Sharat? On the coast. Very conservative town. Very conservative town. And at that point, the campaign to try to ban South Africa sports teams from participating in international sports. And if there's anything that South Africans are crazy about, it's sports. So they were really afraid of this, and they said, we've got to do something. These are the most conservative people. So this campaign really made a difference. And it really helped de Klerk and Botha to start changing their minds and start dialoguing with Mandela and with other ANC people. Now, in Palestine, people have said, please don't buy Israeli goods. Please divest, and there are a variety of them. There are cosmetics, there's minced garlic, there's hummus that comes from Israel, and I don't know what else because I don't buy it. But there also are companies that are profiting from the occupation, like HP, like Veolia. Veolia used to provide the buses on the Israeli-only roads for the people in the settlement to get to their jobs in Israeli cities. They've pulled out of that, but they're still involved in water. There's Motorola. There's Sodastream. Do any of you like to make fizzy drinks? Sodastream is how you can do that. Sodastream is owned by an Israeli, manufactured in Palestine. And listening to an interview of the owner, he was asked, well, why don't you just produce it in Israel? Why do you have to go to Palestine to do it? Oh, he said, we'd have to pay much more to the workers. He was proud of the fact that he was taking advantage of the Palestinians. He said, well, they wouldn't have jobs. So that made it okay with him. So please don't buy Sodastream. TIAF CREF is a pension plan that a lot of government workers the unions are involved in, teachers and others. And they were investing with Caterpillar, Veolia, Northrop Grumman, Elbit, and Motorola. So far, pressure has gotten them, TIAF CREF, has divested from all but Motorola. So it makes a difference when you sign petitions and write letters and get to your union officials and so forth. So I've got a lot of these. If anybody wants them. That's divestment, and then sanctions. We've got a long way to go on sanctions. But I got a letter from Dianne Feinstein. For the first time, she actually didn't say anything negative about Palestinians. It's the first letter I've ever gotten with that. I had written about the hunger strike that Palestinian prisoners in Israeli military prisons who were there without charge, administrative detention, just like in South Africa, they went on a hunger strike. And so I wrote to her and said, we should stop funding Israel. This is not human rights, and we're supposed to be championing human rights. So she came back and she said, she didn't say you're right, but she said, yes, we should stand up for human rights. And I think you will be pleased to know that the UN has spoken out against the mistreatment of these Palestinian prisoners. And and they have stopped their hunger strike. But they're still in prison. So, we have a lot to do, but things are changing. There are more people who are concerned. And I think this last 50 days against Gaza has awakened a lot of people in this country. It's certainly aroused the world. So one way we can help the Palestinians is to buy their products, the Palestinian olive oil, by the way, marketed by a co-op of Israeli and Palestinian women. Another way is not to buy their products. Another way is to get any organizations you're involved with to divest from companies that profit from the occupation, and to keep pressuring our government to have sanctions on South Africa. Don't fund a country that is not living by appropriate international law. And we aren't either. The United States isn't either if the government is funding a country that is not living by international law. So we helped bring down apartheid. We can help end occupation, and I hope this will help us. Thank you.